The pandemic started for me in a very abrupt way. I did not see it coming. My classmates did not see it coming. Nobody saw it coming because literally 9 days before, we were in New York City. We were seeing shows on Broadway, doing our annual choir trip, and everything was totally fine. Nobody even wore masks. And then 9 days later, Friday the 13th, we ended high school forever. Hi, I'm Kate Trimble. I'm a digital media major, and my concentration is in interactive design. Before the pandemic, creativity was a big part of my identity, but it didn't always manifest itself in a very visual way. I was involved in musical theater, so that was at times a way that I expressed myself creatively through song and dance and acting. As many other people who consider themselves artists do, from a young age you identify yourself that way because you're constantly doodling and sketching on things and you're like the art kid in your family. So for me, creativity is something that both my family's known me for and I've identified with personally. What's interesting is the pandemic not only stunted my creativity, but it also grew me as an artist. At first, when we learned about school closing, I had expected it to become a time of a lot of serious growth for me because I figured I had so much free time that now I could throw myself into my art and really just create as much as I wanted to. That wasn't the case though. I really found out that for me, art is a way to purge myself of bad emotions as well as escape from whatever's stressing me out. And so with no more schoolwork and no more extracurriculars to really escape from, I fell into this lull of nothingness and didn't feel the need or want to create anything. As my other hobbies were starting to fizzle out or not be available to me, I then turned towards what I had left, which was art. Because all you need for that is really yourself and whatever tools you have to create. And so I, instead of furthering my abilities in all my different hobbies and all the things I was involved in, I focused on this one thing that I was really passionate about and learned new techniques in that. So I, played around with pastels for the first time in a really long time, and I got better at using charcoals. It was a time of growth in that specific hobby of mine. Long term, this pandemic has taught me and continues to teach me the value of putting whatever I'm feeling and whatever's going on in my life into my creations, into my art. So if that means painting and letting whatever I'm feeling come out on the canvas, then I think that ultimately makes the project better because it's personal to me. And so if I'm differentiating these two things, whatever is happening in my life with whatever I'm creating, there's kind of this emptiness to what I'm making. And I think that also as Christians, we can take so much of our struggles and our life story and put it, I think it's God-pleasing to kind of put that into whatever we're making. Whatever we're making at any period of history has always reflected our circumstances. It'll teach future generations kind of not only statistically and factually what was happening, but also emotionally, how we were feeling and how we all experienced it so individually and so personally, but also the patterns that we see in our art and our music and our worship and our songs and our every form of art. I'm interested to see the ways that this impacts other people besides myself and other creatives in every aspect.